All right, hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Dana, and I am in Subto, and part of what that is I underwrite deals on a daily basis to see if it's a deal, whether I would want to buy it and hold it myself and keep it as a rental, or potentially maybe I would want to make an offer to the seller to buy their property, take over the mortgage that they have in place and the low rate versus going out and getting an investment loan, putting 30% down, and having to go, pay a 7-8% mortgage that we'd be paying today. So what I want to do is show you kind of how a quick way of how I underwrite these deals, figure out whether or not it is a deal worth pursuing. This one is a lead that was sent to me that I was considering buying, but I determined that it wasn't for me and it wasn't going to be a good fit. I will show that to you guys here and let you see if you would make that same decision. I guess let me know down in the comments, would you have bought this deal, or do you think this is a terrible deal? And how we go from there. So anyways, at Dana Invests on Instagram, give me a follow there, and let's get into this thing. So put myself over here. So this is the deal. It's a Subto deal in Avondale, Arizona, 4-bed, 3-bath, just over 2,000 square feet. It was listed at $500,000. $396 is roughly what's owed on the mortgage. 2022 build, so it's brand new. Really shouldn't need anything. It's probably still under warranty from the builder. 4.625% rate, right? 4.625. That's got to be a deal. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Got a 30-year loan with a $2,700-ish HOA after you factor in, or payment after you factor in the HOA. It's got a $35,000 entry fee. For those of you new to Subto, a lot of the ways that we look at these, it's kind of like the down payment to get into it is your entry fee. So how much you would have to pay to the wholesaler, which they're asking $20,000 here, and how much you would have to pay to the seller, which is $15,000, and then the $20,000 assignment. And you can see on their sheet here, they have it, HOA says no short-term rentals, so you can't short-term this. They say midterm you can get between 32 and 34, and long-term between 28 and 3,000. So first glance, it's probably not a deal, because if you look at buying a rental property, you want to have at least a 20% war chest for paying a property manager, and or if any maintenance, repairs, etc. have to happen. So if you can get, let's say on that long-term rent, if it is the $3,000 minus 20% means you should be paying no more than $2,400 on your mortgage payment. We're at 27, so you're negative $300 to be able to support a 20% war chest and property manager fees. So it's already, unless you're going to self-manage it, and even if you self-manage it, I don't believe those long-term numbers, because in this area of Avondale, where I know that this is, that doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense, and I'm going to show you why. So anyways, here is the property. Make sure we can get you back on the screen here. So here's the property. You can see it's just a clean 2022 build, nice carpet, decent rooms. It's got an office, it's got the laundry room. This is a little dining area. It's got a really tiny backyard. You can see that right there. So it feels like you can touch that fence. Decent kitchen, nice and clean. Big pantry. That's the master. That's the master. It's got laminate countertops in here. So again, it's okay. It's okay. Look at that backyard. So you can see it is blank slate, and I don't know why there's a squirrel in the toilet on that ad. So one of the tools that I use is Privy, and on Privy here, this is the area that the property is in. It is in Avondale, and it's way off the freeway part of Avondale, around Broadway and Avondale. And so I kind of circled out this little area here, which is just similar to where the property is. Let me get myself back on screen. Similar to where the property is, and then you can come down here and Privy will show you based off of it here what is the sold comps, under contract, pending, active, and rentals. And so based off of the rentals here, I can see the entire last year and what stuff is going for, and I don't see any $3,000 rentals in this list here. You can see a 2,000 square feet is going for around 2,100. 2,100 square feet is going for 2,100. 2,100 square feet is going for 2,200. 2,100 square feet is going for 2,400. So it's more realistically like 2,200 to 2,300. Right? They said it was going to be $3,000. That's not happening. If you went to put this on the market right now, you're going to get, say, $2,300. And if you remember back, it's $2,700. So you're now negative $400 a month before you factor in anything for property management or war chest. And in that case, unless you're buying this in a fast appreciating area, which this is not necessarily that, it's no deal, right? So I can already determine here, I don't really need to underwrite it any further. I can see based off of their marketing sheet that this doesn't make sense, and that the numbers that they had on there are inaccurate. They did say on there that it would fit best for being a wrap property, which is when you buy it, you get a low down payment, and then you sell it to somebody else who can't qualify. So maybe a contractor who gets paid in cash a lot, or a stripper, somebody like that, right? They get paid in cash, and they don't have the income W-2 statement that they would need there. But if we had to pay $45,000 or $40,000, forgive me, $40,000 to get into this, we would then have to charge our end buyer more than that $40,000 to get our money back out of it and then have a monthly cash flow. But we've already determined that that price is too high to get into it. I don't know why they're asking for $20,000 on a negative cash flow play. And then you can see that the number there to an end wrap buyer wouldn't make sense either. Another tool I like to use, this is affordablehousing.com, market rent estimator. You can see we've punched in the address. I'll blur this out. 4-bedroom, and you can click get estimate, and you can see, what did I say, around 2,300. You can see that's about what it says too. It says in the county it's up to like 2,500, but within a 0.63 mile radius there are 25 units that are available and are averaging $2,235. So the $2,700 monthly payment, even though it's a 4.625 rate, it doesn't make sense, right? So that is a quick down and dirty way to underwrite a deal like this. What I would be looking for if they had a lower entry cost, right? So if this wholesaler wasn't so, I want to say greedy, but aggressive on trying to get $20,000 in an assignment fee, maybe this could have been a deal. If it was just the $15,000 to the seller and maybe $5,000 to the assignment because the rest of the deal is not really that great, and now I'm into it for $25,000 when you factor in about $5,000 for closing costs, would I maybe consider eating a couple $100 a month if I liked the property going forward? That is more palatable, and or for a wrap buyer. If I'm only putting $25,000 down out of my pocket, and now I can find a wrap buyer who's willing to put down $30,000 as a down payment, maybe $35,000 as a down payment, and now I can have a arbitrage on the interest rate going forward for the payments, that could make sense. Hopefully I didn't confuse you. Hopefully this was a good video. If you enjoyed this and you would like to see me break down more deals, this one was one sent from a wholesaler to see if I'd like to buy it. If you'd like to see me break down a deal of an agent sending me one to see would I like to make an offer on it and whether or not I can factor in an assignment fee to that as well, then let me know. Drop down in the comments. Hit a like if you enjoyed any part of this, and check the comments or description down below. I'll leave some links in there with tools for you, some 7-day free trials to some of this stuff if you're interested, and hit me up on Instagram, again, @DanaInvests, and peace.